Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. What if Naruto was perverted brother of Yin and Yang? Movie. We start our story with the announcement of Kushina's pregnancy. I'm going to be a father, said Minato, and I'm going to be a mother, Yano. Suddenly clapping could be heard as they turn to the open door to see a 5'1" figure. Congratulations are in order, I suppose. Minato got in front of his wife and drew a kunai as the figure puts up his hands. I'm not here to fight. Due to me being a seer and a man of knowledge, Minato lowers the kunai but still has it out. So why are you here? Says Kushina. I'm here to help progress the future of this world, says the figure. Can we at least have your name? Asks Minato. I go by many a names. One being the Black Blade, another being the Child of Black, but you can call me Black Clover. As he says this, the two ninja are a bit frightened by his titles as the figure puts a scroll-like object on the show rack's shelf, takes off his shoes and walks to the table with his hands up. As you can now see, I am completely at your mercy, due to me wearing chakra-suppressing cuffs to gain your trust, as he rolls down his sleeves to show that he is telling the truth. So Black Clover, why have you come here? Says Minato with a quizzical expression. Simple really, I have had a vision that this world will not go as it's supposed to. My goal is to make it so that this dimension is not destroyed at any cost. Kushina looks at the figure and asks one of the hardest questions she will ever say. Will I have a miscarriage? The mysterious figure waves his hands rapidly in front of his face worryingly. Of course not. I'll make your children will make it to full maturity, even if it means putting me in critical condition. Both husband and wife are confused by this statement and look at the figure with a tilt of the head. So what exactly is happening? The figure clears his throat as he begins. You see, this timeline is different from the original due to 2 or 3 factors. The first being that you won't just have one child carrying on your legacy. Secondly, from what my vision has told me, one of your children might become trans. As he says that last word, the two parents are completely confused. What's trans? The figure facepalmed as he didn't think about that term and sighs. The term trans means, actually, how do I explain this? Oh well, you know, when a baby is born the doctor says it's a boy or it's a girl, but the child later in life doesn't like how their body feels, so they have a procedure done on them to change their gender. That's what it means. The official term is transgender. When the figure was done with the explanation, he sees that they understand what he meant. So what's the third reason for your arrival? Said Minato with a quizzical look. The third reason is something that I can't discuss here. To many ears listening in on us here, come to this location at high noon. I'll be waiting for you there in 3 months to check on your progress. As he said that, he used a strange power to lift his scroll and make it come to him so fast that it looked like it teleported to his hand, as he then put 2 fingers to his, what they presume his forehead, and vanished before their eyes. 3 months later at high noon, we see the 2 lovebirds at the location where they see the same figure with another standing at 155 centimeters, or 5 feet for those who don't know what the conversation rate is, with the other figure being a little boy wearing all white with blonde hair and looks like he doesn't have a care in the world. So you're here. The mysterious figure says with amusement in his voice that they're at the location on time, as he turns to the other figure. Gremmy, if you wouldn't mind doing the pleasure. As he says that, the boy looks at the figure. Whatever you say, boss man. Suddenly he sticks out his hand in the air. In front of his hand begins to crack, then reveals a room with other people in it as they all walk inside. Welcome everyone to the first meeting of all Jinchuriki from the land of wind. We have the mother of the one-tailed beast, Shukaku. A young girl with blonde hair and dark eyes raises her hand. Yes, Yugito. The girl, now known as Yugito, says. Why did you call her the mother of the Jinchuriki instead of the figure lowers his head. The village hidden in the Sans cage decided to make his son, that hasn't been born yet, the Jinchuriki of Shukaku. As he said this, all of the other Jinchuriki and their caretakers began to get angry. Calm down everyone. He is cut off by a large man slamming his lightning-covered fist onto the table. How do you expect us to be calm about this when a life is in danger? The figure looks at the large man and says. I know you're upset, but nothing can be done. You must understand that this unfortunate situation is the best case scenario for this world. Suddenly a man with red hair, but not Uzumaki red, stands up. How is this the best case scenario? The Jinchuriki is not even born yet. The figure sighs heavily and looks at the red-haired man. If I somehow manage to remove Shukaku from his Jinchuriki and have them survive, then the future will be doomed. The figure slams his fist into the table, generating a shockwave that blows the fabric of all in attendance. Then the figure takes in a deep breath to calm down. I may be able to do many things, But the cycle of life and death I will not interact with, for it is taboo for me to do so. You must understand there are limits to what I can do. A large man wearing red armor look at Gremmy. So who's this kid? The figure gestures to Gremmy. This boy is the new Three Tails Jinchuriki, Gremmy Thumo. To say that all the Jinchuriki were surprised was an understatement, due to his nonchalant attitude towards everything except for the Jinchuriki of Shukaku. So, why is both the Hokage and the red hot-blooded habanero here? Says I, who is calmer but still angry at the fact that the village hidden in the sand would do such a thing. The figure turns to I and says, the reason why they're here is because Kushina is the current Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails Kurama. Before anyone asks, I'm the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, not my children. Says Kushina before anyone could get upset. I, who has a debt to pay to her, bows in respect. I'm pleased to see that you are well, Miss Uzumaki, and congratulations on your pregnancy. I hope it goes well. Minato looks at I and the other Jinchuriki of Kumo and bows. Thank you. I heard about your father. I nods his head in response. Yes, and I have to thank our host for dealing with him. I'm still surprised that you were able to dodge his attacks so easily, and seemingly without any effort. The figure scratches the back of his head. Well, when you've dealt with a light ability user, like laser beams and condensed light particles, lightning users are slow in comparison, except for one I know that might be able to go that fast, though currently I'm not obligated to say that information, multiverse law and everything. So why is every Jinchuriki and their guardian here? What are you planning, and where is the Three Tails Jinchuriki's guardian? I says with a bit of a sigh. Yeah, and why is the Nine Tails saying that your aura is familiar and he hates it? The figure with a heavy sigh looks at I. I'm the guardian of the Three Tails Jinchuriki, and I'm the Zero Tails Jinchuriki. Suddenly Kushina gets a massive headache due to the Nine Tails yelling on about the Zero Tails along with the other tailed beast begging to be worried. Be calm everybody, you too Kurama. I've managed to make it so that only have its power, and not be corrupted by it, but the reason you're here is to show you the future of Jinchuriki. The figure waves his hand and a hologram of a katana can be seen. This, ladies and gentlemen, is known as a Zanpakuto, soul cutter sword. It's a sentient sword that can have multiple abilities, ranging from water manipulation to being able to erase someone from reality. Everyone in the room was quiet except for one. Yeah, and there's these abilities called shrifts that have similar but different properties, but they're not tied to a sword but a bow or any long-range weapon, like a crossbow or spear. As Gremmy says this, he thinks, I can't reveal what a gun is just yet due to them not mastering gunpowder like our worlds have. As the meeting goes on for a few more hours their time, we see the two new parents walking back out where the Anbu were waiting with Hiruzen having a worried look. Where did you two go? Asked Hiruzen, worry ever present in his voice. The camera fixes onto a cliffside where there's a cave where screaming could be heard from in as Kushina is in labor as we see the mysterious figure with Gremmy Thumo on the cliff edge. As they see a masked man take out the guards and head into the room as they did not inform the two lovebirds that they were arriving. The attack on Konohagakure happens and the masked man attempts to take one of the twins when he's shot in the shoulder by a spectral arrow and jumps back from the newborn twins. Sorry Swirly, but you ain't reviving the 10 tails. As the mystery figure now stands in front of the lovebirds but the seal hasn't been done. Minato, Kushina, allow me to do this. As he says this, he begins to weave through hand signs and says, Yin-Yang release, soul separation and reforging. The nine-tailed beast seemingly vanished as two swords take its place grabbed by Gremmy. Once the mysterious figure has the swords, he looks at both Minato and Kushina and states, I will not let them forget you too, even though you will be gone. When he made sure the parents get to see their children one last time, he whispered in their ears his true name, and takes the twins with Gremmy to a secret location where the other Jinchuriki are waiting there for him, with another figure walking out of another portal with the one-tailed Jinchuriki and another with the seven-tailed Jinchuriki. Yes, we're making the 1, 7, and 9 tails the same age. As the 4 children are set into cribs, the other Jinchuriki arrive at the location. So now that the destruction of Konohagakure, where do we go? Asked Han now with Odachi on his back instead of his furnace he had. Yes, to where are we going exactly? Asked Roshi now with a katana on his side. Somewhere that the 5 hidden villages can't find us. As the mysterious figure says this, a red traditional Japanese set of doors begins to appear and Gremmy walks to it. This is how we'll get there. With a quizzical look, Yugito asks, what is it? It is known as Senkaimon. We'll use it to travel to Seireiti. Now come and follow us, and grab the children. As he says this, Han grabs the one tails Jinchuriki, as Yugito grabs the 7 tails, while leaving Killer Bee with the 2 9 tails Jinchurikis. As they travel through the Senkaimon, they see a man with 1 arm and a cane. On the man's right we see a man with a pink flowered kimono with a Sugagasa straw hat and eye patch, and on the other a man with a huge sword with orange hair. Welcome to the Seirei, Jinchuriki, says the mysterious figure. Here you'll no longer have to live in fear of people hunting you down for your tailed beast, and where the 4 new Jinchuriki will live in peace. And hello Ichigo, says Gremmy with a bow to the orange-haired man. Sup Gremmy, how's it hanging? Says the now known Ichigo, wrapping his arm around Gremmy. Yo. I'm Ichigo Kurosaki and Lieutenant Substitute Shinigami. As he says the last part, all the Jinchuriki's faces go blank as they say in unison, you're joking. As the older man with 1 arm begins to laugh. No, he is not. You're now going to be considered Substitute Shinigami along with Ichigo here, and he'll be your superior officer. As the old man says this, Ichigo looks at him with a deadpan expression and says, "You're kidding, right old man Yamamoto?" As the now known Yamamoto begins to laugh and shakes his head. Time skips 6 years and the newest Jinchuriki have grown stronger than their canon counterparts in strength. We now see the Fox twins sparring with Kenpachi. Hiya! As a little Naruto, wearing a black kimono with blue outlines and accents, swings his blade down onto Kenpachi as he blocks it with his sword, then dodges a strike from Naruko, who has more of her mother's genes in terms of her hair and is wearing white with red outlines and accents, from behind. Dang it, I thought I had him. Ha 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 ha, you were close but not close enough. Kenpachi then tries to kick Naruko but is blocked by Naruto, who jumped in front of the kick to protect his sister. Good, good, you two are catching each other's backs when they're in danger. When you two go back to the world you come in, you'll be inseparable, even if you two are set on different teams. The twins look at Kenpachi like he's dumb. Of course they're going to put us on different teams, we need to with others. Said the twins in unison, and in pure sync. As they said this, 2 fists come down on them from none other than Renji. Will you two stop trying to spar with Kenpachi? We have enough on our plates with Fu eating anything sugary. As he says this, Kenpachi just laughs, and a mysterious figure appears. Hello my favorite Jinchuriki Shinigami, says the figure. BC, says the twins as Renji stands up. Is it time already? I thought we'd have more time. The entrance age is 6, but hey, they're stronger than most of the newer 4th seats, says the BC now with a bit more muscle on him. So me, Naruto, Gaara, and Fu will be going to the same school, says Naruto excitedly. Unfortunately not Naruto, you see, you and Naruto are the only ones that will be entering the same school. Gaara will be entering the hidden sand, while Fu will be entering the hidden waterfall, says BC as he pats both their heads. But don't worry, you guys will be able to meet again, just not for a while, and don't let those civilian council members mess with ya. They'll try and swindle money from your parents' accounts, but they need your special Kekkei Genkai to open it. Both twins nod in confirmation as they go to get ready to go back to the Hidden Leaf. Time skip to when both BC and the twins are standing on top of the Hokage monument and BC has a giant grin. Hey, why don't we prank the village? Naruto turns to BC with a childish mischievous grin. Plan trifecta? Naruto looks at his sister and nods his head. Yeah, let's do that. After a few hours we see 3 of the 4 Hokage faces have been painted but the 4th one hasn't been. As Anbu arrive and attempt to attack BC, he disappears in a puff of smoke. Real smoke, not shadow clone smoke, but only the twins know that. The Anbu turn to the twins as they're covered in paint and glitter. Oh, we were left for dead, thought the twins as they were surrounded by Anbu and were taken to the Hokage's office. As Hiruzen Sarutobi was sitting in his office looking at the monument, he saw that the 4th's face was untouched by the glitter and paint. Why wasn't your face covered, Minato? Do you have some sort of connection to these intruders? As he thinks this, he hears a knock on the door. Come in. As he turns around, he sees the twins and then sees the vestiges of a kid, Minato and Kushina. We start our story with Hiruzen seeing the twins and just staring at them. Earth to old man, says Naruto while waving his hand. Don't disrespect the Hokage brat, says Anbu with a bear mask. Bear, says Hiruzen to the Anbu, gesturing for all but the Anbu with a cat mask and a fox mask to go away. So, you're the new Jinchuriki of the 9 tails. Either one of you is lying or... Oh, we're not, it's that Kurama was split in 2 forming our swords. says Naruto crossing her arms. Yeah. And if we were lying, why? Actually, that wouldn't prove we are lying, which we aren't, says Naruto, trying to explain why this situation is happening. It's simple really. I split the 9 tails in 2 for both the twins to be powerful, and I give them in terms of strength ways, definitely cage level, says BC, now leaning against the wall, as he has noticed Fox and Cat draw kunai and go to pin BC as he just phases through their grappling, as they both fall down, now seeing he's behind the twins with a hand on their shoulders. These two will be the strongest ninja in the world, I just know it, says BC before getting stabbed in the eye with a kunai from Cat. Threat L. You really got to learn when to back off, and BC continues to stand like a champ and pulls the kunai from his eye socket. When someone has a regenerative ability, and Whirlpool Viper venom is harder to cure, it needs to be overpowered by a stronger venom than given the antidote of the stronger venom. As he says this, he hands the kunai back to Cat as everyone except the twins stare at BC, scared beyond belief. BC, you do know you scared them with your regeneration ability, right? Says Naruto with a dumbfounded look on her face. Duh. How else are they to react to someone shrugging off a poisoned kunai to the face? Says BC while shrugging his shoulders, and cleaning his face of poisoned blood, and seemingly not being affected by the poison. As he wipes the blood off him, Hiruzen regains his composure and stares at BC, recognizing him from the 9 tails attack. You were there, weren't you? Asked Hiruzen, staring down BC angrily. Yeah, but for things to go as they are now, I could not intervene with that event, as much as it pained you to see their parents die. Their deaths are an important part of their lives. It teaches them that even though they were weak and frail, their parents still loved them till their deaths to leave them in my care, though I wasn't the one taking care of them due to important matters that had my attention, due to me being a father to a little girl named Kefla. Says BC as he pulls up a picture of his daughter in what appears to be a dining hall with others all with the same marks on them. Hiruzen stares at BC angrily as he slams his hands down on the table. How does that teach them that? All it does is make them orphans. And they probably think that you're lying. Which I would not agree with due to them loving them both, but besides that. What do you mean that you sealed the 9 tails and turned the halves into swords? I said what I mean, and they know I don't like to sugarcoat things. Says BC while crossing his arms. Yeah, BC doesn't like to lie, or anything like that. Says Naruto with a dull look at BC. Yeah. Says BC while waving off the comment. Now with that, I must be off. As BC bows to the Hokage, he disappears like he was using the Kamui. Drama King. Says Naruto with a blank face. Time skip to when the twins are introduced to their new class, and their first test is a taijutsu match, and the first is Naruto versus a boy with black hair and eyes, with a cold emotionless stare. Well, aren't you the definition of cute and cuddly, you know? Says Naruto with a smirk that says he just pulled a prank. You think just because you're new, makes you think that you don't have a chance at losing. Says the boy with a brow raised. I know your tricks, Uchiha. As Naruto says this, the teach give the signal to begin. Sasuke now rushes at Naruto, trying to go for his side, not knowing it's hook, line and sinker. Naruto catches the kick to his side and spins him around, flinging him to outside the ring and on his back. You're right about one thing, Uchiha. I don't have a chance at losing, but you did, and you fell for that obvious trap, hook, line and sinker, you know. As Naruto is declared the winner, he walks over to his sister and high-fives her as they pass each other, as the next match is Naruto versus a pink-haired girl named Sakura. Begin. Says Iruka, with Naruto taking the same approach as her brother, as Sakura just charges at Naruto with a straight kick, but the kick never connects with its intended target and lands in Naruto's hand as she tosses her out of the ring. If you trained more, you would have been capable of doing more than me throwing you out of the ring, you know. Time skip again as we see now the twins, now wearing trench coats with their colors, waiting to be called up for the graduation exam to be ninja, as both of them are considered the prodigies of their year, taking Sasuke's canon title. As Naruto is called up, Naruto just rests his head on his hands as he blows a bubblegum he had that's blueberry flavored. Hey Naruto. As Naruto hears this, he turns to see a boy, dark brown hair with red markings on his face with a white dog on his head, and on his right is a boy with a trench coat and rounded shades, and buzzing can be heard from the trench coat. Oh hey Kiba, Shino, how did you guys do? Both the boys show that they have their headbands showing they passed. Wow, that's great. Says Naruto with absolute honesty, The two boys have been friends with Naruto since the day after Naruto beat Sasuke in the taijutsu match. Thanks man. Hey, you want to head to Ichiraku's after the tests are done? Says Kiba with Akamaru barking in agreement. Can't say no to that reasoning, you know. Says Naruto excitedly. You can't say no to just for going there, Naruto. Same thing with your sister. Says Shino with a monotone voice with a hint of humor. As he says this, Naruto walks out the room with tears in her eyes. Oh no, says Kiba, rushing to her with Naruto. What's wrong, Naruto? It's nothing, Kiba. As she says this, she shows them her headband. These are tears of happiness, you know. As she says that, Naruto hits her over the head hard. Don't scare us like that, you know. As Naruto finishes his sentence, he's called upon for the test as he enters the room with the three judges, one of them being the Hokage. Now Naruto, would you please preform the two justice to pass? As he does, the shadow clone just Sue and all the judges are shocked by what he did. Yeah. BC told me that due to my abundance of chakra I had to learn this just Sue for clones to get a good clone. As he says this, he runs the back of his head. Hiruzen snaps out of it and gestures for Naruto to continue as he does a transformation into Gremmy but with Naruto's color scheme. As he turns back to normal, he is given his headband and walks out to see his friends and Naruto waiting for him. Congrats, Naruto. Says Shino with a slightly visible smirk. Damn you and your bugs, Shino. Says Naruto as he's hugged by his sister, jumping up and down happily. We now see Iruka standing before Naruto and Naruto's class as he is giving the same speech as Kanon about how he was no longer going to be their teacher and assigning them their teams, with Naruto and Naruto being put on different teams, with Naruto going with Team 8 due to her tracking skills and Naruto staying with his Kanon team. As Naruto sees Team 8's sensei walk up, Naruto walks over to her and tells her to keep an eye on his sister and Kiba for him. Oh, don't worry. I'll make sure she's got him by the ropes. As Kurenai says this while walking away, Naruto gains a tick mark as Shino looks at him. Don't worry, I'll keep them at arm's length for now. As he walks to his team with a smirk, and when they were gone, Naruto can only say one thing. Traitor. You're an absolute traitor to my trust, Shino. As a big leaves Naruto as he walks to his team, but not before setting a famous Uzumaki trap. As they wait, Naruto groaned in frustration. When is the idiot coming? As he said this, the door opens and the trap is sprung with a chalkboard eraser falling, pulling a string connecting to a ninja wire to a kunai launcher that launches a kunai to a seal that reveals a catapult with a pie in it as it is launched at the target's face, splattering them with apple pie. Ha! You just got pranked by the king of pranks, Naruto Uzumaki, one of the greatest pranksters in the world. Apple pie, not a bad choice. Says the figure, slightly removing his mask to eat the piece that was still on his face. I'd give the execution a 10 out of 10, but I would have gone for just a lot of whipped cream. Why waste that much whipped cream for a prank, and at least this one is apple scented? Says Naruto with a look that says that his new sensei was dumb in pranks. Well, besides me being pranked pretty good by Naruto, I'm Kakashi Hatake, your Jonin sensei. Let's go to the roof to get to know each other. As Team 7 makes their way to the roof, Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura say the same thing as in canon, but as Sakura finishes talking about herself, Naruto scoffs. What's wrong, Naruto? Asks Kakashi, knowing that Naruto was about to change both his teammates' lives, for better or worse was their decision. You two are idiots. First off, Sasuke, revenge isn't something you should be chasing. Trust me. Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. And you pink girls, stop fawning over him. Unless he gets himself together, he won't accomplish anything. As he says this, Sasuke stands up and grabs Naruto by the collar. What do you know about pain? I bet you never had to work a day in your life to get that power you have. I bet your parents gave it to you so you would stop whining about shit. Naruto, angered by the comment that makes him think that Sasuke thinks that his parents didn't love him. My parents died before I or my sister truly knew them. Their death's anniversary lands on me and my sister's birthday. Which kind you? Is the day of when that cursed Uchiha used Kurama to attack the village. And they say that it was a freak accident. Bullshit. It wasn't a freak accident. It was a planned and coordinated attack that left hundreds dead. And you think me and my sister didn't cry ourselves to sleep because we were hated? We questioned if our parents truly loved us each day until BC gave us the final message of our parents saying that they loved us so much that they died to protect us from a rampaging Kurama. So stop whining about your brother killing your clan and get the censored over their deaths. With that, both Sasuke and Sakura are silenced by Naruto's actions. Well, Even though it was rough and a bit harsh, I completely agree with Naruto's words. Grief can lead to dark emotions and actions. If you want some help, the Yamanaka clan will be happy to help you. As Kakashi finished his first statement, he looks at Naruto. So what do you hope to achieve, Naruto? He looks just like you, sensei, though he doesn't have your color scheme. As Naruto takes a deep breath and smiles. It's simple really, to help my sister become Hokage and beat fate itself in the face. Naruto says this some shadow boxing. We now see Team 7 looking at Naruto with blank looks like he's stupid. That has to be the stupidest reason I ever heard someone becoming a shinobi. I mean defying fate. How can you do that? Says Sakura with a shake of her head. Hey sensei, BC literally survived an attack that was supposed to kill gods, and all he got was a scar from his left shoulder to his right hip. He would have died if he didn't have his lucky charm. Hell, he would have been dead if it weren't for Lady Angelica. Says Naruto with a puff of his chest. But if you want a better reason, it's to honor my family's name of the Uzumaki clan, you know. Well, with introductions out of the way, meet me at the 3rd training ground tomorrow, and I suggest you don't eat breakfast. Says Kakashi with an eye smirk. Or you'll be throwing it up during the test. As he says this, he disappears in a swirl of leaves. Does he know that breakfast isn't actually the most important meal of the day? Says Naruto with the tilt of his head. What are you saying? Of course it's important, says Sakura yelling in Naruto's ear. Well, think about it, our ancestors had to wake up and go hunt for their food, so, says Naruto doing the scale hand gesture thing. Time skip to the day of the bell test, and Naruto is the only one wide awake besides Sasuke and Sakura, who only the Naruto ate breakfast. Then we see Kakashi appear in a swirl of leaves. Ah, good, you're here. I hope everyone's ready? Oh please, like I need to get ready when I've been ready since 3 this morning. Everyone looks at Naruto with a shocked look on their faces. What, I start my days a bit early, so what? Naruto. Do you by chance have a training routine that needs you to get up that early? Says Kakashi with a sweat drop. Duh. Why else would I be up that early? That and I already had my second breakfast. Have to keep this body in shape. It's sad that I don't have my weights with me right now. I could be doing some curls right now. Oh please don't tell me that I got a taijutsu master. So what fighting style do you use, Naruto? Says Kakashi nervously. Kenjutsu and Bukajutsu, but mostly Kenjutsu and one other weapon that only I can use truly. Says Naruto truthfully. Surprised, Kakashi continues. Well, today we're doing your final test to prove you're true shinobi. As he says this, Sasuke and Sakura gasp in shock while Naruto just crosses his arms. Is this a team building exercise? Naruto thinks to himself. You'll have a set time to retrieve 2 bells from my belt. The one without a bell gets tied to one of the poles and is sent back to the academy. Says Kakashi with a serious look. Yep, definitely a team building exercise, and not bad timing. Best to get us to work together early than later. As Naruto thinks this, Kakashi tells them to come at him with killing intent and prepares a timer. Your time starts, now. As Kakashi starts the timer, Naruto grabs his teammates and darts into the woods. He automatically saw the purpose of this test and pulled his team back for strategic reasons. He's definitely a prodigy. We see Team 7 without their sensei in the woods. Sakura with an angry look at Naruto begins to think he's a dumb ass and proceeds to scold him. What the hell were you thinking? We need to attack. No, as Sakura is taken back by this, Sasuke looks at Naruto. What do you have in mind in terms of taking those bells? The purpose of the test is not to see who's the better ninja, but teamwork. Trust me, BC made me and Naruto and my friends do a test like this but with tassels. Surprisingly, BC has incredible hearing. As Sakura looks at Naruto, she has only one thing on his mind. He's done a test like this before. So what's the plan, Naruto? Says Sasuke in a serious tone. Looks like you took Kakashi's advice. But while I distract him, you two will go for the bells, use your kunai as weapons, and use transformation just so to look like me. A false shadow clone approach. Asks Sakura. Bingo. Says Naruto as he snaps his fingers. Begin Operation False Clone. Huh. Says his teammates. Oh sorry, it's just I have a knack for giving team movement names. We see Kakashi reading his Icha Icha novel as he sees a Fuma shuriken flying at him as 2 Naruto clones rush at him. Huh, the others could be. As his thoughts are cut off, he hears the puff of a transformation being broken and looks at the Fuma shuriken to see Naruto using his sword and cutting at Kakashi's waist. As the blade is about to touch Kakashi, he jumps out of the way and launches shuriken at Naruto, who is smirking as he disappears after the shuriken go right through him. And the other two Naruto are standing behind where the real Naruto was as they transform, revealing themselves to be Sasuke and Sakura with both the bells. Kakashi looks at his side to see the strings for the bells were cut and does eye smile as the real Naruto appears. "So sensei, do we pass the teamwork exercise?" says Naruto with a smirk. "Ha ha 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 ha, well done. You managed to not only do the teamwork exercise, but work with your team to catch me off guard and grab the bells. Congratulations, you all pass my test." Yes, we did it. We did it," says Sakura, hugging Sasuke, but stops blushing, with Sasuke also blushing as well. Well sensei. Looks like we got a couple in the making," says Naruto with a shit-eating grin. "Yay, but let's make sure they don't go too fast," says a smirking Kakashi. We now see both Team 7 and Team 8 in the Hokage office with all but Naruto and Kakashi scratched up from Team 7 and a cat in Naruto's arms as he hands the cat to their owner as Kakashi and Kurenai staring at Naruto as the cat goes from calm in Naruto's arms to almost feral in its owner's arms. "So what's our next mission, old man?" says Naruto, not caring for the looks of wonderment on the two Jonin. Naruko sighs as she looks at Naruto. "You're an idiot, brother." As she finishes up that sentence, Naruto gains a tick mark on his forehead. "What did you call me, tomato?" Suddenly the two siblings are at each other's throats in a cartoonish dust cloud with punches and kicks being set at each other. Then both Jonin sensei grab their respective twins and pull them apart with them still trying to harm each other. As Hiruzen takes a drag from his pipe to calm his nerves, he sees that both teams are conversing among themselves as the twins fight and gets an idea. "Say Kurenai, Kakashi, do you say, what about both your teams do a joint D-rank mission?" Both Jonin sensei get what the Hokage is saying and say yes, as Hiruzen explains the mission with both twins getting the same feeling. "This is gonna get out of hand very fast, and we're going to be the ones to pick up the slack of our sensei, but hey, the others need field expertise." We now see both teams with Tazuna waiting on Kakashi. "Hey bro, is you sensei always like this?" All of Team 7 in unison say, "He's been like this from day one." As they say this, Kakashi arrives with a smile on his face. "Yo." As Kakashi does a two-finger salute, he gets set into the ground comedically by Naruto doing a jumping axe kick to reach Kakashi. "You're censoring late, sensei." As Naruto begins to comedically beat down on Kakashi for being late. Sasuke, Sakura, Kiba, and Shino begin to pull Naruto off Kakashi as Naruto pulls Kakashi out of the ground. "Alright, everyone's here, let's get going," says Kakashi with an eye smile. We now see both teams walking down the road. As they approach a puddle in the middle of the road, they stop. "Trap?" says Naruto to his sister as they were put in charge of this mission due to both of them showing great leadership roles. "Oh definitely, it hasn't rained in weeks and there's chakra running through it." As the teams and Tazuna pass the puddle, two ninja jump out, but as they were about to attack the senseis, both twins were already behind them. "Threats neutralized," said the twins in creepy unison as if they were the same person. As they look up, the two that were about to attack them had their arms with the chain chopped off and they were holding their stumps. "Well done you two, and good job at disarming your opponents, though albeit literally cutting off their arms is way a way to do it," says Kakashi, with a bit of sweat drop on his head. "Oh, they did the creepy twin thing again," says Kiba, a bit nervous for Naruto. "Why are you so nervous, Kiba?" says Sakura, albeit terrified that they cut off those two ninjas' arms off so casually. They spoke together and they sounded like they are sharing one mind. I bet if they were to be put on a team together, and say put Hinata and Kiba on that team, they'd be unstoppable by the low cage level ninja, says Shino using his bugs to scout the area. "Oh please, get my friends from back at the Seirei and we'd be unstoppable. Even the Densetsu no Sanin banding together wouldn't be able to take us down, ha 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 ha," says Naruto with a mischievous laugh. "Not even them or all generations of all cages would stop our pranks." "Well, let's get going. We need to complete this mission before it gets out of hand," says Sasuke while looking around for any more ninja hidden in the trees for ambush. "Yeah, like this clearly a ranked mission hasn't gone off the rails yet," says Naruko walking past the team with her brother. "Why are you saying that, Naruko?" says Kurenai with slight nervousness. "Oh, someone on your level is hunting us. Say sis, want to bet on who it is and what village?" says Naruto with all seriousness in his voice without fear. "My bet's on a Iwa ninja coming after us," I have seen some ninja who had their headbands in a bag with a more solid build in the village. Nah. Judging by those two, it's probably hit and missed. My money is on Kisame Hoshigaki. Says Naruto, pulling out some money. They're actually betting on what ninja we'll face. Wait, you saw Iwa ninja in the village? Says Kakashi with a frightening look. Well, yeah. They are always looking at us. Then the Hokage monument for that mother censored ER. We now see the two teams after Kakashi had interrogated the Demon Brothers and the mission became in a rank. We see the two teams of shinobi getting off the rowboat and onto shore. Man, there's a lot of mist here. I can't see a damn thing. Says Kiba, squinting through the fog to try and see through it. My bugs can't see very far in this fog, and some of them can't come back. This is bad. Says Shino worryingly, not liking that he lost bugs to the fog. Not even the Byakugan can pierce through it. Says a slightly scared Hinata. Man. If you guys are having that much trouble seeing, then you got to train harder. Says Naruto, nonchalantly walking past them. When the team was a bit away from the village, the twins began hearing the sound of whirling. Get down! Yells Naruto as he makes Tazuna and Hinata get down as the others get down, with only Naruto jumping above the blade as it lodges into a tree. Well, 7 kids and 2 jonin. As he was about to talk more, Naruto got right in his face and tried to slash at him. The man who spoke dodged the attack and kicked Naruto back to the others, but Naruto didn't seem fazed by the attack. What the hell is this kid? He shrugged off that attack like it was a love tap. Looks like your hunch was right about the village but not the swordsman, sis. Says Naruto with a bit of a chuckle. Soul King censored ing, damn it. Everyone was surprised that Naruto sweared and Naruto was laughing his ass off when she was begging to have a hissy fit about the man not being the one she was asking for in the bet. What the hell is wrong with them? They're facing an A-level missing ninja and they're not worried. The man thought this before looking at the girl. That one is obviously using a transformation technique to hide her true appearance. Let's change that. As he thinks this, he throws a special senbon needle at Naruto with a tag placed on it. As it hits her, the transformation is undone as we now see a male Naruto standing where Naruto was originally. What the hell? Did he use some sort of dimension swapping seal to swap Naruto with a male version of herself? Says a worried Kiba. As soon as Kiba stopped yelling, Naruto curled up into a ball and began to have a panic attack. You're dead. Zabuza Momochi. As Naruto says this, a pressure begins to push down on everyone except the male Naruto as Naruto begins to walk towards Zabuza. Like you're one to talk. As Zabuza dashes at Naruto, he slashes at him, but instead of going clean through Naruto, the sword stopped, not even piercing Naruto's skin. As Naruto reaches for his tanto, senbon needles are lodged into Zabuza's neck as he falls over. Then a figure in a hidden mist mask appears and grabs Zabuza's body and looks at Naruto. You're one tied to honor. You should leave, now, Anbu. As Naruto says this, the two mist ninja disappear. When Naruto turns to the male Naruto, he walks over to him and takes the senbon out of his hair and hugs him. Shush, it's okay. You're not gonna get hurt. Says Naruto, comforting the boy. But he. Shish, just reactivate your transformation and calm down, sis. As Naruto says the last part, all the ninja are shocked, especially Kiba. That's the real Naruto? Naruto looks at Kiba, seeing the confusion and heartbreak in his eyes. Birth-wise, yes, but she doesn't like her true look and uses her transformation to feel better. Kiba was absolutely confused by that explanation. Gender identification, she was born male, but prefers to be female. As this is said, all the ninja turn to the voice, finding out BC was there with a very tall woman, with a weird skull with arrows going through it. Oh, the poor dear, she must feel like she's trapped. BC. Says the twins in shock. You know this guy. Says Sasuke, with him now ready to fight when needed. Well, I did help them train till they got to the academy. How else would you expect for them to be so adaptable? Says BC with a smile, though his eyes were hidden from view. What are you doing here, BC, and who's the woman beside you? Says Naruto, who hasn't used her transformation jutsu to transform. I'm Emporio Ivankov, or Eva for short, and I have come to free you of your prison, little lady. As the twins look into her eyes, they only saw truth in her words. Will it hurt? Says Naruto, scarred about the pain she might endure. It'll just be a one and done thing, although it will feel weird, and I got a change of clothes for ya, kid. As BC says this, he holds up a uniform for Naruto that was clearly made for a girl. As Kurenai steps forward and looks at the two. As her sensei, I have jurisdiction to watch over this process, along with being a woman as well. Well, of course you need to, for a lot of reasons that I don't want to get sent into the ground for, though only two of you would be able to do that. As the girls and Naruto walk off, Kiba looks at Naruto. So, mind explaining all that? Says a very shocked Shino, who didn't know Naruto was using a transformation jutsu on herself. She felt that being a boy was like a prison, and decided to use a transformation jutsu to feel freer. But, she's the same person that we know and, says Kiba, but chokes on the last word. Kiba. Though she may have been born a male, she's still the same person she always has been. Hopefully with this, she's freed from her prison. Will she hate me if I confessed here and now? Says a worried Kiba. Do that and I'll rip out your tongue. Yep. Definitely a do it not in front of him moment, Kiba. Says a chuckling BC. You have lost my trust, BC. Oh, when have I ever been able to make you trust me out of battle? As BC said this, Naruto flips off BC, but then gets hit with a slipper to the head. As everyone looks to where it came from, we see Naruto with her arm outstretched and now a true woman. Naruto, how many times do I have to tell you that I don't need that much protection? As Emporio Ivankov walks to BC, they both disappear by getting swallowed by the shadows under them. Why did you have to hit me with a slipper, tomato? Says a angry Naruto. What the censor did you call me, fishcake? As soon as they stare into each other's eyes, they begin to fight each other. This will never change, will it? Says Shino, now with a visible sweat drop. No, I don't think so. Says a dumbfounded Sasuke. Time skip to when the teams meet up at Tizuna's house and meet both Tsunami and her son Inari. You guys are idiots, no one can beat Gato and his men. You're just ow. As he was about to finish his second sentence, Naruto walks over to his and hand chops his head. You're the idiot that thinks that we're nothing but stupid idiots. Well, Kiba being the exception, but that's besides the point. As Naruto says this, we can see Kiba struggling to get out of Naruto's grip as he swears to hurt Naruto, knowing that he has no chance in effectively killing him. Ha 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 ha. Oh Kiba, you should look at your face, it's so red that your marks are hidden, ha 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 ha. As Naruto says this, almost everyone begins laughing at this and Inari looks at Naruto. And how do you plan to defeat Gato? Yells Inari, mad that they're laughing in this dire situation. Well, I did make his top assassin run with his tail between his legs. Time skip 3 days and Tizuna is working with his crew and Naruto sees someone in the distance. Sensei, contact on the southwest side, moving in to intercept. As Naruto approaches the figure, they are looking straight at Naruto and not the bridge. So, why are you here? Says Naruto, crossing his arms. I came to make a deal with you. Says the figure, now stepping out the shadows and revealing themselves as a beautiful woman in a kimono with black hair. She's the Anbu from a few days ago. So, what kind of deal are you proposing? Says Naruto, his guard not fading. My master's employer is planning on betraying him and killing him by sending a letter to the new Mizukage, and I want to save him. Naruto just raises his eyebrow. So this is an enemy of my enemy deal? You wait, you didn't refuse. Says the woman. Duh. Even though your master broke my sister's transformation, I don't go back on people in danger, but I am gonna make sure he literally pays for it, in cash. The woman bows in gratitude. Thanks for your cooperation. Naruto Uzumaki, one of the 10 greatest sword users in the world. Time skip to when Zabuza was brought to Tizuna's house and Naruto explained everything and that ninja from Kirigakure might come to kill the girl, who was known as Haku, for her ice-type Kekkei Genkai. As he is done explaining his actions, Naruto only sighs. You know you're an idiot, right? Hey, you know how I am with people in danger, besides we don't know who the new Mizukage is. Kakashi steps in between the twins. Naruto has a point to his reasons. Naruto, we don't know what this new Mizukage will do when he gets the information about Zabuza having a student that has a Kekkei Genkai. As soon as he says this, the twins sense something approaching the village. Censored me. Says Naruto with a defeated look. He looks like you're going to be stuck with the snuggle bug for a while. Says a smirking Naruto. Shut up. Sure, I'm warm, but it's your fault that she just tackles out of the blue when she sees me. As Naruto says this, Naruto just flips him off. Thanks.